Hi everybody, I'm Nancy, and I have a very sophisticated data tool. And if you don't have it, I highly recommend it. The accuracy on this thing is amazing, and I use it almost every day. I keep it on my desk, and when people come up to me and ask me how things are going to go, I say, wait one moment. I have them phrase the question, I shake the ball, and we see what it says. But do you know that there are 20 possible responses on an 8-ball? And 10 of them are in the affirmative. 5 are kind of so-so, and 5 are negative. So you have a 50% chance or better of getting a positive response. So phrase your question to get a yes if you want a yes answer. And if you get a no, that means you had 25% chance of getting a no, which means it's probably a no. Okay? So it's incredibly accurate, I can tell you. I worked with Rebecca and Plemina. They both know I use this all the time. It's wearing out. But I highly recommend you get one. Anyway, that's my low-tech sort of approach to data. I want to talk to you a little bit about my daily challenges and how this product really helped me when Barbara was first developing it. She was a consultant for us. And she showed me this thing, and I said, oh, my God, where do I get that? And she said, well, we're developing it. And I said, you want to see my hand-drawn plots next to my 8-ball? So a lot of this stuff that she's working on is stuff that we've been struggling with for a long time. So I want to tell you a little bit about my position and what I face. So my job, first of all, I make sure we follow the law. And we normally say this, we keep your butt out of jail. Okay, so that's what I do in regulatory. I make sure nobody goes to jail. Even though it's federal prison, nobody wants to go to jail. Okay, you can play tennis there, but you still can't leave. We help FDA do their job. And what does that mean? You know, FDA, if they do something wrong, they get hauled up to Congress and they get barbecued. And if they do something too fast or too slow, they get hauled up to Congress and get barbecued. So what we need to be able to do is give them the tools and the data so that they can do their job well. And that means we have to do our homework, right? So how do I do my job? I know my data. I have to know what I've got and what's going on. I have to be intellectually honest. And that's difficult sometimes because we want to have things turn out the way we want them to. We have invested a lot of money. We've invested our life. We've often put our lives on hold. We've purchased our stock in advance. We've done all these things. But sometimes it doesn't work out the way we hope. And the best thing to do is to understand why. So, next slide, please. You've all heard this in some form or another. Fortune favors those with the prepared mind. And that means you can increase your chances of luck by doing your homework. And so you need to do deep analysis. And you've heard about the challenges with all the data that we have. But you have to understand. You know what? Maybe I can move this. You have to understand your safety. That's the number one thing you've heard. We don't want to hurt anybody. Nobody wants to be the person that worked on the clinical trial that killed the baby, okay? Nobody wants that. So you have to understand your safety. Does your safety overlap or mask your effect? You have to be able to look at these things in multiple dimensions. What else is going on with safety? You know, understand why some subjects didn't respond. Have you all had this group of people that just don't respond and everybody else does? And like Barbara was saying, there are different populations there. You have to understand are all the responders the same? Like, what is it about these people? And does the time course of the response look the same for all responders? There's a million questions you can come up with. And how do you answer these questions with your data? You have to look for patterns. And in the olden days, I'm sure you all went through this before, you'd print out or you'd paste up hand-drawn pictures and you'd put them all over the walls and you try to almost kind of move them around with your Post-it notes and try to see if there are patterns. And then you start naming them. There are the people that, you know, the Lazarus, the ones that didn't respond and then came back, the ones that started out good and then came back down. What is unique about those data sets? So you all can come up with hundreds, if not thousands, of questions for your data. So once you know what's going on, once you figure that out, you can frame it. You can say, this is the story, and you can talk about things that happen in literature, and you can talk about, you know, I can look at a like product at FDA or through FOI and get the summaries and look at those things and say, this is behaving similar to this other product that you approved. and you can help the agency get comfortable with your product. You can learn more about the course of the disease. You have no idea what you're going to find out. Often we know more about these diseases as we're going through these things than the FDA. And if we can show them and publish this stuff, it will really advance the field. Even a negative study. You know, we had a negative study published in Lancet, and so that's pretty amazing. But it advances the field. And I can explain what's happening. I can determine if we still have a product, first of all. And then even if we still have a product, will the market take this product? Will a doctor risk using this? And of course, that's the risk-benefit analysis that you have to go through. And of course, know thyself, know thy data. All truths are easy to understand once they're discovered, right? The point is to discover them. And Galileo ended up under house arrest, but you will be rewarded for all of your truthfulness and your ability to understand what's going on. As it was mentioned earlier, these clinical trials are horrendously expensive. But as a wise woman once told me, there's only one thing more expensive than good data, and that is bad data. Thank you.